G'day guys, how you going? Hope you're all having a fantastic evening. Now I have to apologise, I know I look like a drowned rat, but I've just had a shower and before I go to sleep I thought I would do a review. So that's why I'm wearing the cheap shirt, that's my pyjama shirt, so apologies for the appearance, but hopefully the review more than makes up for it. So the film I'm reviewing tonight, sorry it's late, is a French movie. It's not a horror film, so for non-horror lovers this is something for you. I cater for all types. It's a French movie, French language, English subs. It's released in 2009. It's the latest film from Jean-Pierre Jeunet. If you're familiar with Amélie Delicatessen and The City of Lost Children, you'll know his work. So this is his latest installment called Micmacs. And the story to this one is as follows. Basil is struck by a stray bullet, which remains lodged in his forehead, leading to some strange side effects. After losing his job, he meets a group of other misfits, including the man who holds the human cannonball world record and an elastic woman. Together they set out on a hilarious quest to bring down the world's biggest weapon manufacturers. So that doesn't really give a clear indication as to what it's about, but I'll give you my rundown. It's a very wacky storyline, so I'll do my best. Basically what we have, Basil is the main character. Now, the film starts off where Basil is a child, and as a child he lost his father. He basically kicked a landmine when he was serving his, in a war for France. He was trying to dismantle a landmine, and it blew up in his face and killed him. So it left his Basil's mother to raise him by herself. So, and by the way, at the start of the film it's connected, so I'll give you the connection a little bit later. So then the film takes off from when Basil's a child and it goes to his later years when he is a not a young adult, a middle-aged man. And he is working at his local shop, and a series of unfortunate events occur which results in him being accidentally shot in the head. Now, initially we think he's dead, but he wakes up, he's been in a coma, and the doctors tell him that they were unable to dislodge the bullet out of his head because it was just way too dangerous. So he has to live with it. Now, this brings side effects, terrible headaches, and some other really weird sort of side effects that the bullet brings. Plus, it's a painful reminder of what happened. So since Basil had been in hospital, his workplace no longer need him. So a very unsympathetic sort of world that Basil is part of. His boss says, okay, we replaced you, I'm sorry, but you're out on your own. So he has nowhere to go. Then he goes by the place where he was shot, and he realizes on the ground is a shell, a bullet shell, a bullet casing, that hasn't been picked up by the police. So he picks it up, he looks at it, and he realizes that there's a symbol on this bullet shell, and that is the symbol of the world's biggest weapon manufacturer. And then he realizes that this same symbol was on the landmine that was responsible for killing his father. So he wants answers. These are the reason why so much bad luck has entered Basil's life. So he goes to the building in his city, and this is where he confronts the CEO of this massive company. But he basically just dismisses him, treats him like a lesser human being, and just very arrogant, very smug, and basically doesn't care about him. So they basically throw him out on the street, and he is absolutely furious, and he wants revenge. He wants to bring this company down by himself. But he can't really do that because he has nowhere to stay now. He's homeless, he's jobless. This is where he is adopted by a family of misfits. Now, all of these family have bonded together through their rejection from the outside world, so they basically adopt each other into this family, and this is where Basil is accepted into it. Now, this family is located in this underground kind of housing project underneath a dump, and this is where they live in harmony. Now, there's a whole range of characters that vary from a human cannonball, who wants to beat the Guinness World Record, and there's also an elastic woman who's very, very flexible, and then you just got a wide range of bizarre sort of characters. So, yeah, Basil is brought into it, and this is where he starts to plan his plot to downfall this company. Then when the other family members realise what he's doing, they want part of it as well. So this starts a very hilarious quest in an attempt to overthrow what is the bringer of bad luck in Basil's life. So that's as far as I'm going to go synopsis. If you want to know more, please go out there and check this movie out for yourself. Now my thoughts on this movie. Had a high expectation coming into this one. I loved Amelie. I loved City of Lost Children. I loved delicatessen, sorry, and this one is no different. It really does rise to the standard, and it's unbelievable that Jean-Pierre Jeunet can maintain that level consistently, and it just shows that he is one of the best directors in the world right now, and very much underrated, because outside of France, not many people like this guy, because it is in subtitled a language. So that is a great disappointment for me, because I know a lot of other people, if they could get over that subtitle reading, would really appreciate his work, because it is very, very unique. This movie has a strong flavour of all of his other movies, but it does have its own style, which is absolutely incredible. This guy, Jean-Pierre Jeunet, has one hell of an imagination. This movie is so fun. It has got the best pacing, and it's really funny, and it's a little bit naughtier than the rest of his films, although having said that, it's still rated 12 in the UK. It has a little bit of sex in it and a little bit of violence, and I was actually surprised at the level of violence, not because it was graphic or nasty, just because for this sort of film and Jean-Pierre Jeunet's style, I thought it was a little bit more hardcore than his usual. But having said that, as I said, very, very mild kind of violence. And the characters, all in depth, all played really, really well. Each one of them is very likable, and you really want them to succeed in overthrowing the evil weapon corporation. And the weapons, the people working at this manufacturer, they're all painted as evil. But having said that, you know, they're not really scary, disturbing evil. They're just like cartoon characters. And that's what Jean-Pierre Jeunet does. He takes a real world and he puts a surreal kind of spin on it. So it blends together very, very nicely, and it's kind of like you're in a pleasant dream. And all the characters are exaggerated to the point where it's comical, but at no stage does it border on ridiculous. The humour is very French. If you don't appreciate his sort of humour, if you didn't find his other films funny, you're not going to find this one funny. I actually thought this was the funniest movie he's actually made. But having said that, there's plenty of other genres in the film to make it, you know, appeal to a lot more people. The ending was really funny. Once again, everything about the movie is absolutely brilliant. There's a lot of well-known French actors in this film. If you're familiar with French cinema, you're going to know a lot of them. Dominique Pignon, Yolanda Moreau, and other kinds of actors that Jean-Pierre Jeunet seems to have caught. They want to act in every one of his movies. So that's really cool, and that he has a loyal sort of following that appreciate the cinema that he creates. So if you want to go in there with a very bizarre plot, just completely crazy, but pulls it off superbly, I am definitely recommending this one to you. It's got tremendous replay value just because of the level of charm that it has. It's very weird, but if you appreciate different kind of cinema, this one's definitely for you. I'm going to give this 5 stars. I thought it was brilliant, and everybody needs to see it. Alright guys, that's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later. Bye.